Hello, everybody. This is Tiffany.
What's up? This is Ariel.
And this is episode 30 of Grab Your Cup podcast.
He almost my age, y'all. We episode 30 in this thing.
Gang.
Turn up. Well,
I'm proud of us, man. 30?
Because in my former life, this would be episode 11.
You know how much stuff I don't complete. Like, you know.
Do you know how much stuff I still don't complete?
Right, exactly.
Now.
Right now.
Like today.
Man.
This here day. I was 50 things I was supposed to do today. I did 4. I would applaud myself for the 4 that I did. Still only did 4 though. That was a real thing.
I'm proud of us, man. I would think we should use this momentum to carry us in the new year because it's a new year.
It definitely is. 2020. What's up, boo?
I see you.
No new year, new me. I'm still the same me. I didn't post not one meme about it. I will tell y'all what I did do though. Mm-hmm. She colored her hair.
Yeah.
I got this honey brown going on. Let me tell you though, it definitely was supposed to be chocolate brown. And it came out hazel. Kind of gold-ish. Because like I have told you guys before, my gray hairs are gang members. And they is in this thing strong, repping it, throwing up the fork and everything. It's ridiculous. Like, they got t-shirts and bandanas. They is ruthless out here. Do you hear me? This is the strongest, most aggressive gray hairs in history. But I mean, it actually came out pretty, but that ain't what I was going for.
That wasn't what you started with. I feel you.
No, ma'am. Disrespectful as hell.
How were the holidays in total?
So my son need a job.
Ooh.
I told y'all that tree gonna stay up, and guess where it's at? Yup. And it's gonna be there until Valentine's Day. And like I told y'all, I'm making it a Valentine's Day tree. Ooh. This might make it to a 4th of July tree. I don't know.
That's wrong.
Listen,
I like it.
Happy Festivus. Because I'm not in the mood of taking nothing down.
You weren't that in the mood to put it up, so I understand.
And here we are.
Yeah, I get it.
My son loved it. My sister came into town, went to my brother's house. We had an amazing Christmas. I saw my nephew. He's fine. My sister's pregnant. She is ready to, it's so funny. Like when you're pregnant, you literally are like, oh my God, I'm so happy to be pregnant. And then at a certain point, you be like, oh my God, I just don't want to be pregnant anymore.
Get out of me.
Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Like, and when you've had kids before and you know the pain that's coming to go into labor, it's a different type of hurry up and get up out of here. And you want to run towards the pain.
You're right.
You like, listen, it only be for a couple hours. I'm having a hard time breathing every day.
Right.
This whole washing myself, going to the bathroom, sneezing and peeing on myself, it's not attractive.
You know what's crazy is because the second time around for me, he was premature, but I still kind of had that because he was unruly. Like, he really was, as small as he was, I literally bouncing to every perimeter inside my, like, I felt like bing, bing, bing.
But he's still
doing that. Oh yeah, no, for real. It makes so much sense.
Early, he was just like, "What's up, Mom?"
It lets me know how connected kids are in their being from her, because that's who I got right now. That's
today.
From that point, bing, 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 bing. Yeah, I was like, oh, okay.
I love it when I'm on the phone with you and when you come around him. He'd be like, "Hi, Mommy."
You're right.
I said, "Hello, sir."
Right.
Hello, sir. He's super cute.
Yeah, he seems like the perfect. I've been randomly calling. I'm gonna stop that because I don't want to manifest that. But
what you been calling him?
Dennis. He came to me today with a pin on his forehead. Hey, Mom, just was talking normal like he wasn't into anything. What's happening right here,
sir?
What's
on
going
your
on?
Forehead.
And he just touched his head like, what? You see? Okay, well, let's talk about it. So I was writing, Mom. I was writing on you, huh? Give me the pen. Dennis. That's what I said. But I'm going to work on that.
I was writing, Mom. I just love his matter-of-fact conversation.
Oh, it's very matter-of-fact. I feel like he's been here before.
But definitely been here before. So what'd you guys do for Christmas?
So did the hotel thing. It was phenomenal. My children are now judging me and my regular life. They are bougie. They feel like I need to step it up. They want a fireplace in their house.
Damn, the house in their room.
Right. Central air, all the amenities. They want fresh towels brought in every day.
Look,
like, this is
somebody come make this bed.
Right. They have demands and I don't like it. But it was a great time. We had like a family talent show, and we had a failed gingerbread house. Man, it was really cool. It was like,
did you say a failed gingerbread?
Oh yeah, it didn't happen, but it was. We tried, but it didn't happen. But it was a really cool experience. And then, I feel like I've spent time. I'm not a TV person, but I've caught up on a lot of TV. And then for New Year's Eve, I went over my brother's and just kind of hung out with the kids and played let me tell you, that was really rewarding. I played Monopoly with my nephew, who is a teenager now. Monopoly is my game.
Is it?
I was so impressed. Like, he kicked my butt and I was so proud. Like, you know what? Listen, he had all the properties. He's winning, and he was sliding me money for the one property I had something on. Like, oh yeah, take that, TT. And I said, you are insulting and I like it. And that's how you play Monopoly, sir. You know what? You are
something else.
Well played. When I'm not sleepy, we're coming back to this.
Look, I allowed this to happen, but vengeance is mine.
Right. It's past my bedtime. You lucked up.
8:27.
Oh, and I was struggling.
Girl, if you know us, then you know me. And if you know me, y'all know I got a strong 9:30 bedtime every day, all the days. 8:30 we start winding down up in this thing. My eyeballs be angry.
At like 9, my fiance's like, you want me to get you an energy drink? I was like, nah, I'm gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how far I'm gonna make it afterward, but I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna press on. It's a little rough. I was doing that. You know when you like hold your eyeballs open and try to let the air get in. Wait,
woo. Like remember Tom and Jerry used to put them toothpicks?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a struggle, but I made it. And I didn't do. I feel like this year, because I feel like last year we kind of shared our goals and stuff, and I was even having this conversation with my fiance. There's so much there actually is quite a few things I want to make happen, but I feel so personally connected to the things I'm trying to make happen that it's just more so than the declaration. I'm more focused on the action. Y'all gonna find out. You'll see what's coming.
I said that too. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I received a phone call. I was in the shower, and just so y'all know how dedicated I am, I answered the phone. And I was talking to one of my friends, and the conversation was basically like, did you do any New Year resolutions? No, new you, new me, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, nah, I have the same goals.
Right.
To be great. So I don't know. There's no new me. I don't have a resolution. New Year resolution. I basically want to continue to move forward in all the things that I have put in motion already, and just find a way to continue to implement them and try to as effortlessly seam it and sew it into the life that I have going on right now.
Right.
So I didn't have I'm gonna start going to the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not even gonna play with y'all.
In fact, I'm starting this year canceling the gym membership that I did not go to
all last year.
Yeah. So
and I do believe we had this conversation, and I said to do that, and you didn't do it. But come on, 2020.
Right. So that's a resolution.
Listen, there's a lot of things that you would like to do.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that you could possibly get done. There's also a list of things that you're actually going to do. I'm focused on the things that I'm actually going to do. Not the things that I could be doing, but the things I'm actually going to do.
I mean, the only thing I know is overall, I know I want to I think my goal is to be able at the end of the year reflect and have. I think one of my biggest weaknesses is discipline.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to actively work on that weakness this year, and that alone is going to propel anything I'm trying to make happen, because that's my struggle.
I think that for everybody it should be like that. Like, you focus on your weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? And then mine is procrastination. That spirit of procrastination. I've been telling y'all for I don't know how long. That's it. I need to read at least 4 more books on procrastination. But I am procrastinating reading them.
Right.
So here we are. Like, I can't get nothing done because I'm procrastinating that part too. It's ridiculous over here. But I've gotten better. Y'all got episode 30 up on this guy.
Hey, we got episode 30. We've got updated YouTube page.
Yes, I'm being more active on our social medias and stuff like that. I'm making y'all videos and stuff. Hey, I just want y'all to know how terrible humans y'all are. Because why y'all listen to the stripper? Y'all listen to that stripper episode. But the mental health episode, not so much, huh?
Wasn't ready to dive into that one.
Okay. You want to know why you ain't listened to the mental health episode? Because you need help. That's why you was listening to the stripper episode. All of y'all are trash people. But because we know y'all are trash people, we gave y'all a little bit of everything.
You know what? And I had to go look to confirm it. Yep. Just go look at our plays. Yep. That's the highest.
Which one?
The stripper episode.
Look, for a long time, it was the side chick episode.
Right.
Then we came up with the stripper episode.
And it was like, they back in this thing.
Boy, you in that bag. Hey. Somebody got their tongue out like Megan Thee Stallion.
Right.
They
like, they gonna give us one. We know it. I've watched way more TV. Not too much. So I've kind of been intentional in that committed TV, because I know I will watch one thing and then never come back to it again.
That's my life right now. Well, for New Year's, me and my son did that. We watched movies. And I cooked him dinner and all types of stuff. But I can only watch movies. I can't watch series. I'm not really good at series.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be like something that I am literally doing. Like, as a schedule,
right, like you're setting it out as an agenda to do.
Yes,
right. I think I'm the same. I watched that Kevin Hart documentary, and I really liked it, and it was really good. And I kind of just had to go through it, because had I watched one and walked away, and then
so you got the binge watch.
I binge watched all my stuff.
Binge watch. I used to do, this gonna sound terrible. When I was going through depression, I could binge watch. I binge watched Stranger Things. I binge watched a lot of different shows on either because y'all know I got a strong addiction to YouTube. So, like, I would find somebody's channel that I've never watched before and binge watch all their episodes. I would do that, or I had Hulu. I have Hulu, so I had Hulu or Amazon Prime binge watch. But then now that I'm out of that space, I'm always doing something else unless I'm intentionally watching something. I'm skating around how I'm intentionally watching it. I'll tell y'all one day. But anyway, recently, it has to be intentionally on my docket. Right.
Well, no, my normal thing has been, because my fiance is way more of a movie, TV show person. So if we're kind of going through like a Stranger Things or that type of thing,
right?
It's probably like an episode or two at night when stuff's settled, and we can come at it that way. And that's fine. But then, just how I am, it just may be one night that's not my move, and he'll be like, "Let's get into it," and I'll be like, "What about a comedy? What about something a little light? Because I don't want to do it." So I'm bad at that, but I completed the Kevin Hart. I watched some of those holiday movies. I think we talked about one. I know Romany Malco. I think that's how you say his name. Romany Malcolm is in that one. It was like a holiday movie on Netflix. I watched two holiday movies on Netflix and something else, and that's abnormal for me, but it was actually kind of rewarding. It actually kind of like felt good to be like, oh, that was cool, new media. And baby, that season 2 of You.
Okay, so I am watching that. I'm only on episode 2.
I finished that thing. Let me tell you, you got me. I don't feel like I've watched something like that since I was actively and consistently on live TV watching Scandal. Like, it played and I was like, hold on, let me go get some water and pee. I'm coming back.
Wait, let me ask you a question. Did you binge watch season 1? Or did you watch
No, I spaced it out because that was my thing. Like, my cousin, she actually sent it to me because I love the actress who played Peaches from Pretty Little Liars.
Got it.
And I was like, what? She got some project. Let me go over and see what my boo doing, because that's my boo. And
ain't that the girl that was with what's that boy name? He was the rapper.
No, she not. No, she
it's
don't.
A different chick.
Yeah, but
now they all look alike.
Right. But that was my boo. And I was like, let me go see my boo. And I was like, what? And it kind of took a slow pace when I got to like episode 3 though. Then I wanted to finish.
It was in full swing by episode 3.
And then I was like, let me see what Joe is up to. Let me come and tap back in. And then I finished
Joe,
it.
Beck, and Peaches.
Right.
That's a group.
Right. But this season 2.
Now, I binge watched the first one, but I binge watched it. Well, technically, I don't know if that's binge watching. I watched as many episodes as I could every day during my lunch breaks.
We're
gonna say that.
Step at a time. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Never know who's listening. So I binge watched it then, but this season I'm literally like on episode 2. So you definitely way more advanced than me. I am intrigued. I go to sleep too early. I can't stay up and watch.
I get that. No, I get that.
I get sleepy. Like I know that it's like I tap the little arrow and be like, okay, we got 7 minutes left. I could do 7 minutes.
Let me tell you, like today, was my off day, and I was watching a movie I really want to see. I was watching The Irishman. Finally.
Yes, I want to see that too.
I've been wanting to see it. Definitely fell asleep.
See.
Yeah, and it didn't have nothing. What I'm trying to tell you is something else was on TV and happening. I was falling asleep. He went to You. I got energy, and I was like, well, I got a little time for that one, if that's what we're doing. I mean, wait a minute.
Well, I got a little time.
If we're getting into that bag, okay. That's how it was happening.
So You is a series on Netflix, just in case you guys don't know. And I don't want to tell you about it,
right.
But if you're on social media, I'm pretty sure you see the memes or the gifs
yeah,
about
I've started seeing them now.
Yeah. I'm actually in a You chat group.
What?
One of my friends from high school, she created a group for us to discuss and dissect this show of him being a psychopath.
Yes, Lord.
And if you haven't seen it, you should definitely watch it. Season 1 will get you right, and season 2 is out now. So get you some. It's only on Netflix. It's a Netflix original series.
Yes, it's wild. You know, it's wild. So if you're ready to go on an adventure, you know,
I think. So the first season came out, and I was in a special place in my life at the time.
Talk about it.
And because of that special place, I saw things that he was doing in it, and I was like, this
is familiar.
This is so familiar. So when you watch this show, you will quickly realize that this man is a narcissist.
Immediate.
But I think not the only people. A lot of the people who, because you know you hate when I use those type of words.
I didn't this time.
You got that.
Yeah.
A lot of people who have come in contact with narcissists will immediately be able to see it.
Absolutely.
But even people who have not come in contact with narcissists, they might not realize that that's what is happening.
Right.
They might think that he's just a psychopath, and he is. He's a narcissistic psychopath.
Right. I think you can distinctly see what's different about it. That it's special. Sure. It's not quite the normal formula of being a psychopath, because there's a lot of charm and endearment.
And a mass, but in the charm and endearment, there's a mass level of manipulation.
Yeah.
And man, it triggered me. The first season, the reason why I was able to get into it the way I was, because I had never seen anything that gave such a clear example. Like, they got narcissism down. Like, textbook narcissism. And when I was involved with a narcissist, so let me just backstory. Story time, y'all. I know y'all love my stories.
Let me pull up a chair.
So I did not know the true definition of a narcissist. And in reality, I confused a chauvinist with a narcissist. Fact. So in my mind, when people would say to me, he's a narcissist, because people who I was friends with and would tell them about what was going on in my relationship would say, dude, a narcissist. And I'd be like, no, he's not. Because in my mind, I was thinking chauvinist.
Right.
And he's not a chauvinist.
Right.
He's a narcissist, for sure. So I'm going through life being manipulated through this narcissist, and I wasn't aware that that is what was happening, because I had got my definitions confused. Right. And if I had known to look it up before I did.
Simply that.
Because when I tell you, dude is textbook narcissistic. Like, when I'm watching Joe, besides the fact that he likes to kill people. Right. Dude. The conversations he was having, the way that he would spin stuff. Like, I was like, what?
You're gonna hate that when you edit this.
Hey, low key, as soon as I did it, I was like, definitely gonna have to fix that. But I was like, yo. So dude is a narcissist. Girl, it was you crazy. You didn't even know he was a narcissist. So that show solidified for me. Because, you know, when you think, because that word narcissist is thrown around so much. Now, let me just say this. There are some people who are just dorks. They lame, they jerks, they just a-holes. Right. And people try to give them that title of narcissist.
Like you said, I think it's been confused with being chauvinistic. And my perception was full of yourself. Yes. Which can be true, but it's way more complex.
And there has to be other dynamics attached to it besides just that.
Right. And so I don't think if I had never experienced in a dating perspective what it was like to see somebody who was narcissistic, I would have never been able to unpack why it was different. Like, even the qualities, like full of yourself, manipulative, those things, why it, when it's put into this ball of narcissism, it's different than anything else I had ever experienced before.
I think meeting a person who's a narcissist and meeting them on a friend level or on a coworker level or on a even if it's your relative, not on a romantic level, you don't get to get a full understanding of what it is you're dealing with. Right. Because part of being a narcissist is they camouflage who they are in front of people and in front of the public. Absolutely. But in private, they have a completely different delivery, attitude, persona about themselves. And unfortunately, that makes you look crazy, which is another key of dealing with a narcissist, because narcissists make you feel like you're crazy.
Absolutely.
So once I figured out that so one of my friends said to me, he was like, what he did was he sent me a meme. Mm-hmm. And on the meme, it was these bullet points of what a narcissist
bullet
is.
Points, you say?
Hey, y'all. When I tell you this heifer is the petty pentagram. Petty LaBelle. Like, she... Hey, that's an inside joke, y'all. It's super funny. But let me tell you, bullet points piss me clean off. I bet not see another raggedy bullet point in 2020. Funny. Do you hear me? Okay. I digress. All right. But my homeboy sent me this meme, and it had like what a narcissist does. Mm-hmm. And I was reading it and I was like, wait a minute, that's not a narcissist. Is that a narcissist?
Right.
So that's when your girl started doing research. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I think I got those two words confused.
Right.
Because I was thinking that was a chauvinist. Right. And I was thinking that a narcissist was completely different than what it was. And it was so interesting when I had my epiphany of, yo, right, I'm dealing with a narcissist. Now, here's the crazy part. I had already been affected by the narcissist when I figured this out. Mm-hmm. And let me tell y'all how hard it is to get out of that hole. It is a web. It is like, you ever watch National Geographic when that bug is stuck in that web and it just keep moving and the spider feels the web moving, so he just be like, oh, let me come in here and wrap that thing up even tighter. That is what it feels like to deal with a narcissist. And so these are some of the bullet points. This is the exact same meme that my homeboy sent me, but it's pretty close to what the meme said that he showed me. So it says, are you or someone you know being affected by a narcissist? Do you have a person in your life who, number one, love bombs, which is showers you with gifts or attention so you forgive and forget the negatives? 2, charms. To others, this person is amazing. They never show their true color unless alone. 3, gaslights. Twist your words, tell you that you misunderstood, even when given proof. Even when you seen it lashes in the gap. I'm sorry. Berates.
You will never call me petty.
Will. You might be right. Number 4, berates, demeans, belittles, humiliates, and embarrasses you in front of others at Cracker Barrel. Controls, attempts to control your time, money, clothes, what you eat, and or your children. You definitely gonna have to quit your job. Blames everything is someone else's fault. Everyone else is crazy, not them. I don't know what's wrong with my baby mama. She knows that I'm an amazing person. Isolates, tries to keep you from spending time with your friends and loved ones. Well, if they don't like me, I don't know what to tell you. Ghost, suddenly disappears, doesn't respond to text, emails, or phone calls. Block, 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 block.
Let me tell you.
It's a block party up in this thing.
Let me tell you. Ain't no man like a narcissistic man that can block you, baby.
Let me tell you. They block like a ninja. Like, what the?
And you never know. You never see it coming.
They are like ninjas.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. In the middle of me typing? Well, I'll be damned.
This the episode that should have had video. My God.
This ain't gonna be the last time we talk about narcissism. I tell you that.
Yeah.
I tell you that.
Fact.
The next one. Hovers. When you set a boundary or try to break up, they return to love bomb you to get you back. Oh my God, let's go on the trip. I think you're amazing. You're such an awesome
Or you return a ring and they put it in your door and tell you that you belong to them. You know, stuff like that.
Candles, my nigga. Candles.
Right.
These are just some examples. And look, I was reading this and I said, wait. But this is a meme. You can't just trust a meme. Just got them all here
floating
around on the internet.
Now, let me tell you, until this experience, I would have... It astonishes me how much information exists out there to unpack what a narcissistic person and behavior is that I literally never knew existed.
Ever, yo!
And I was like, why did y'all wait to put this in my vernacular until I was knee deep in this thing? I could have used this earlier. I would have saw some of this.
Listen, how about this? I'm glad you could have saw it. I would have never seen it because I would have been looking up the wrong word. Out here just bad. I felt so stupid. I was like, so you telling me you could have been nuded? Girl, have a seat.
And I think even in the ways that you could kind of simply define it, I've been in a relationship before with someone who was manipulative, who lied, who was controlling. That's not...
He still wasn't a narcissist.
He wasn't a narcissist.
Let me tell you, that stuff hit different, y'all. Like, you talking about being sick. I was questioning my sanity. I wanted to record conversations.
Yes, Lord.
Because I knew what I heard. But their argument was so good that I said,
maybe I did.
Maybe I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And then their manipulation is so good that they'll say, yeah, I did say that. And then tweak it for you to see why what he said was okay and made sense. Now, I will tell you this, that is a scientific fact that more men are narcissists than women, but women are narcissistic as well.
Yes.
Unfortunately, y'all gonna be mad, it is more men. And I don't date women, so I can't give you an experience from a man who dealt with a narcissistic
or
woman.
If it looks other ways in a woman that we don't readily see and pick up because, you know, our experience is our experience.
Exactly. So I'm not saying that there are no narcissistic women out here.
Oh, I'm sure.
Trash is trash. It come in every shape, sex, creed, all of that. Like, all of y'all out here terrible. Mm-hmm. There was an episode on Red Table Talk that showed that Jada Pinkett has, and
look that up.
Listen, y'all, it's on Facebook, Red Table Talk, and there's a doctor on there, and she is basically explaining to you what a narcissist is. Mm-hmm. So after I had dealt with this narcissist, and I realized, you know, I got my language together, and I realized what the word meant. You know, your girl do hella research.
Oh yeah, so she does.
I started looking up everything. And so remember we talked about how Instagram and Facebook be in your business?
Yes.
So you definitely can't look up narcissists and then think it ain't gonna show up on your Facebook page or your Instagram page.
You gonna get that ad on Instagram. You gonna get that suggested audio book on Facebook. You know what I'm saying?
So look, they got me. Because one of the books that they suggested was the very first book I read about narcissists. Phenomenal.
I remember.
Book. And it's called When Loving Him is Hurting You. And it's by Dr. David Hawkins. Now you talk about binging. Mm-hmm. When I tell you I read that book front to back and back to front and highlighted and oh my God. And I was just like, oh my God.
Didn't it feel like kind of like pulling a veil back and kind of in a outer body way seeing what you were a part of?
Yes. And for them to articulate, because I think what's the thing about dealing with a person that's a narcissist is that you don't know how to accurately articulate what is being been happening to you without sounding like you're just a bitter, damaged person, or you're just trying to find excuses
or make conflict.
Yeah, or not trying to hold accountability for your part. It's like, oh, now you want to make me a narcissist. And it's also a fact that 9 out of 10 narcissists have no idea that they're a narcissist. Mm-hmm. And the one that does know he's a narcissist doesn't think that he's as bad as you're saying that he is. Because most narcissists believe that what they're doing is accurate. They feel like, and that's the difference between a narcissist and a psychopath. So a narcissist is not aware of what it is that they're doing. A psychopath is completely aware of what they're doing, and they're doing it on purpose. Most narcissists are not aware of their actions, but this comes because of some type of trauma or emotional strain that they've had in their life, and this becomes their defense mechanism to create the atmosphere that they want. And to do that, they start with the manipulation. They start with the gaslighting. Let me tell y'all, I didn't know what gaslighting was.
But I do now.
Oh, but your girl is well versed. So, even on that Red Table Talk, they were talking about gaslighting, and the doctor on there was pretty much saying how it came from a movie. And the movie actually it was a play first. And the original play is called Gaslight. And that was in like 1938. And then they made 2 movies out of it in like the 1940s. And it's basically there's a husband and a wife, and the husband tries to make the wife believe that she's gone insane so that he can cover up some criminal activities that he's doing, so that she can't be she loses sight and grasp of reality. And how he does this is he changes the light in the house. Now, back in the day, they had lamps, right? And it was a flame. So he would turn the flame down or up, and she would ask him, like, did you change the flame? He's like, and he would do it and then like walk away from it. And then she'd come back in the room and be like, why is it so dark in here? He's like, what are you talking about? It's the same it was when you left. And she was like, no, it's not. And he's like, yes. And he would berate her and be like, very demeaning to her and everything to make her believe that she was crazy. And over time, she actually went crazy because this is what happens when you do that to somebody over and over again. So basically, they called it gaslighting because of that play. Well, it's a manipulation tactic. And it's so powerful because it is done on a small scale. It's about that lamp, right? On a big scale, it's when you think that you've done something amazing for a person and you give it to them, and like an eager child, you're like, look what I've done, look what I did, this should make you happy. And they look at you and they like smack it out your hand, and they be like, you thought I was gonna like that? You don't even know me, right? And you're like, wait, what? And then they leave the room and come back, and then the thing that they smacked on the floor is on the floor, and they're like, why would you throw that on the floor? Yes. And you're all like, I didn't throw that on the floor. What? Yes, you did. Why? You know I love chocolate. Why would you throw that on the floor? I didn't. I brought it to you and you knocked it on the floor. And you will literally be like, wait, did I drop it on the floor? Y'all, it sounds crazy. It is a real thing. And I literally was going through it, and I thought I was crazy. Like, I was like, wait a minute. Wait a damn minute.
Yeah. Like, so, we're a couple days into the new year. I received, I'm trying to give an estimate, 10,000 character email. I'm sorry. Dang, I thought I could get it out without. Okay. I received a 10,000 character email, from an ex. That's what we're gonna just do that. Recanting moments in our history as if I was not ever there.
Yo. It's the greatest thing ever, y'all.
And let me tell you, 4 years ago, woulda took me clean out. Would've had me
live it,
trying to defend it, have understanding, confused. What are you saying? That's not true. What's happening? Because I have more knowledge, I can use that knowledge. So I see what's happening here. And that person still is unaware that they don't have any attachment to this version of me. So they keep talking to
the old version.
A circle. Well, that's why the data was generated
Yeah.
in a 4-year ago range because
Yep.
you don't know me
At all.
nonetheless. And really dissecting it and going through that, I actually looked at a lot of the things that were told to me and remember why I felt so much confusion, anger, insanity in that time. And that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
In that era of time in my life, I literally felt like I was going insane. And I would hear, even in those moments in our conversations, things would be told to me like I wasn't a part of it, where I would say, hey, like, it would just be clear omissions of things that happen. And I would be talked to as if I was being so harmful and mistreating to this person. That still said they were like trying to build a life with me. It was the most confusing thing to me. Like,
literally,
we're
living the same life.
You were trying to still build a life with me, but you're telling me how I'm doing all these things that
is because they're always the victim, though.
Of course,
always.
But what was personally, internally driving me insane, that honestly, truthfully bled into my next relationship, and a lot of the blunt of what he received is that insanity that I had to crawl out of kind of being able to peek my head above the ground and kind of look at stuff a little different, because you get buried in this perception that is given to you about you. Like, it kind of is like, one thing I know we both know from experiences, and it gets kind of so disheartening and confusing, because in the beginning, the charm is immaculate. Like, the courtship is phenomenal.
Woo, child, that love bombing is something. Let me tell you, when you get love bombed, you get taken on trips. You get text messages that say, girl, I remember one time I had left my charger at this guy's house, and I texted him and was like, did I leave my charger at your house? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I'm always leaving something. And he was like, no, the charger's where it's supposed to be at. You not where you supposed to be at.
Okay,
I said, well, talk to me nice.
Talk to
me nice. She was like, boy, don't let me put my shoes back on. And come over there. But that would be what...
Right.
It would be, and other people, like, you'll be listening to that, and you'll be like, I don't know why that's a problem. It's not a problem when it's genuine.
Yeah.
Not when it's being used as a manipulative tactic, because what happens is you fall into a hole where you crave that. Love bombing is fast.
Yes.
It happens extremely quickly. When a person is a narcissist, it's like a firecracker. It is real fast, because they have to rope you in quickly, so that when they turn it off, they already have you reeled in.
Exactly.
So it happens so quick. And I'm talking about quick. It's like, hey, let's talk about marriage. Let's talk about moving in together. Let's talk about having these kids. You're going to quit your job. I'm going to take care of you. We're going to have these kids. We're going to be in this house. Literally, we've been dating for 5 months. Literally, we've been dating for, you know what I'm saying, seriously, for 5 months, but don't nobody know it.
Right.
We know it, and you know what we are.
Right.
And it'll be that type of manipulative conversation. Like, everybody don't need to know what we doing. You know, and I know. Mm-hmm. Let's just let's do this with us. Right. And you fall into the okay, because you're getting the conversation. You get the good morning text messages. You get the good night text messages. You have conversation throughout the day. There's meaningful conversation. Mm-hmm. The word love flows out of their mouth. Mm-hmm. I had an ex that told me I love you like 50 times a day. And I literally was like, why do you say I love me so much? Because I just need to express myself to you. But then to have a person tell you 50 times in one day how much they love you to a day, but they cannot, you ask them, tell me you love me. Mm. And that person tells you, I can't tell you that.
Or you get to the point where literally I'm wondering if I will get a message from you at all today.
For sure. And not only will I get a message from you, but when I do get the message, because now I got panic attacks and anxiety about it, what type of attack will be in this message?
Or me just making sure I walk the fine line, that I don't say or do anything that kind of interferes with me getting a glimpse of that love that I once saw, or what it looks like.
Right.
I was told, I had a whole shell of a relationship because to this ex it was important to create the appearance of what I feel like I served as a shell and a representation of that met. So once the love bombing happened, it kind of made it not make sense to me why the behind the scenes things weren't happening. Like, how are you really gonna say nothing's happening? And I'm like posting memes and loving things, and everybody thinks I'm the best thing for you. And like, tell me how Sway? How am I not? Like, really?
You ain't got the answers.
You go ask a friend. You think I'm not the one? Yeah. Try again. And everybody and everybody's kind of creating this, oh my God, this is amazing. Look how amazing he is. He's treating you amazing. I haven't heard from this person today. Like,
no. You haven't? No, I haven't.
No, like in real life. Like in real life.
I haven't.
And
no, I haven't.
And when I kept that to myself because it felt crazy to say too, and it had me doubting myself, like, is that wrong? Am I demanding too much? That should you posting on my social media wall be enough? That I don't hear you? Am I demanding too much?
Hey, us having playful banter on the same post is considered communication.
And then I had to say,
but I send you a text message in the morning and I don't hear from you
right
until 9:00 at night when you have decided that you're planning on winding down and want to communicate with me.
Literally, that's what said. Literally went from conversation every lunch, text messages through the day, video chatting along the way, calls on the tray to, hey, no, I can't talk to you because, it's loud, and I'm gonna let you know when I'm settled inside. Ooh.
At 8:00, 9:00 at night.
Echo. And then to get told, and I remember when going through a period of conflict, feeling like, okay, what can I do? Like, well, I mean, maybe I gotta come at it different. Maybe you need to know. And I think I shared this part on another episode of kind of expressing, like, me even saying I miss you became an argument.
Yes! Yo, story time. One time I went to a concert with this person, and I said, thank you for taking me to this concert. And the response was, well, who else was I going to take? You said that like I was supposed to take somebody else.
That's
like,
not...
Why? What does that even mean? I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm just saying thank you for taking me.
Because
you could have went with your homeboys.
Right.
You could have been with your cousin. You could have been with your sister and your brother. You could have went with your niece and your nephew. You could have went with your grandfather. You could have went with the neighbor. You could have went with a list of people.
It was like, and what I got back was like, I mean, I work. This is my schedule. Like, you're saying, like, I'm just not doing enough. Like, I literally just said, I missed you. I'd love, like,
it was never an attack.
Never. But see, and then in reflection, the reaction that I got is almost voided, like it never happened. Like, that conflict we had never even existed. Like, I fabricated your response. Like, that didn't happen. You didn't do that.
I didn't respond that way.
That's not how it was. You misunderstood me.
That's
not what I was saying.
Delusions of grandeur.
Yeah, that's not what I was saying. Things of that nature. I think one of the more defining times of me literally feeling insane in that relationship, and that's literally feeling insane. I remember having a moment where I'm trying to remember, because I don't remember exactly what made me feel uncomfortable, but I felt uncomfortable and I was ready to leave. And I went to go, and I was like, I think I need to go. And I leave, I go to the car, and I express when I'm at the car like, are you sure? Yeah. And when I'm at the car, I express that, I start to explain why I felt that I had to go.
Mm-hmm.
It immediately switched about the conversation we were having to why could you have not said that inside the house? That was now the conversation. I don't know how that became the conversation, but it was literally a level of appalled, like I disrespected him. You really couldn't do that. Anger ensued.
Yes.
That it was like, turned up, well, fine, you go, and slammed my car door so hard that the mirror popped out of the thing. It's like that never happened. Literally, that moment that happened, like, really, probably, honest to God, if you find him, ask him, he not gonna know what you're talking about. It didn't happen to him. Fast forward hours after conflict, because I'm like, what was that?
Usually unaware.
I got a text message to say some form of I'm not feeling good, I'm going to the ER. I immediately
need to be the spotlight, and at no point can you not be the person who has constant praise, attention, and admiration. Like, it has to happen.
I immediately flee. We did not live close. To go back that direction, and I am calling and I am texting and I have no access or response to this person. I literally was on the west side of Chicago. That's not somewhere I frequent. No shade, kind of shady.
You better get your leather jacket. You better get your belly.
Looking up every hospital possible, trying to find where this man could be located. I went by his place. I'm showing up. I'm like, what is going on? Spent, I want to say, 2 hours at least on a hunt. And then as I prepared to go back, and I'm frantic, I'm panicking, I'm just trying to show up because now I feel so guilty about what happened earlier that I want to prove that I'm showing up for
I didn't send him to the hospital, and now I need to fix it.
Look, I gotta fix it. So I want to make sure you know that I'm showing up for you.
Hey, side note, one of my exes went to the hospital, definitely sent me pictures, and I was like, let me know when you made it home. That was definitely frowned upon and used against me later.
Right. And then I got a casual text message after leaving all this. I mean, I was leaving pictures of where I was. I was leaving voice messages. I mean, literally.
You sent pictures?
Yes.
Aww. You know what? You was a good girlfriend.
And then I got a text message like, yeah, I'm home.
This is the fastest ER visit ever.
And so I'm thinking, like, I know all those texts came through when your phone turned on. I know what is happening. I then go drive back to his place. And I'm kind of like, what's happening? What's going on? Are you okay? Yeah, got this, had the hospital band thing going, and I literally was searching in my mind if the events of the day had really happened. Like, I was so confused of everything that had happened. Like, was I just searching for, like, is this happening? Like, I'm confused. Did I?
Here's the thing. When it comes to a narcissist, unfortunately, it's very textbook.
Mm-hmm.
But it being textbook, it also is very hard to pinpoint and not, because like I said, the word is used so loosely these days, to not overuse the word or use it on people that it shouldn't be used on, especially since most narcissists do not own that they are a narcissist or accept the fact that they're a narcissist, because they know the negative connotation that comes with it, right? So basically, you're telling me I'm a narcissist. That means that I have self-importance. I'm more important than everybody else. I need constant praise. I have entitlement issues. I frequently demean people. And I'm like a bully.
Entitled. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Absence of consciousness. Like, you know, it's like, hey, I ain't gonna make it to counseling. Definitely got my daughter, but I'm on this plane though.
And it's really happening, but
Let me call you back.
I feel like what I'm trying to find a way is to articulate those differences, because I guess, would you say that you've ever dealt with someone who was manipulative, who wasn't narcissistic?
Well, yes.
Yes. Well,
I have. I've been with a person who was only manipulative.
Right.
So he didn't have Okay, so here's an example. The guy that I dealt with that was not a narcissist, but he was manipulative, definitely had 5 kids.
Right.
And didn't tell me that he had 5 kids, right? And then when I found out, well, I didn't find out, he told me. But he used the fact that he told me to try to manipulate the situation. Come on, Ari.
Right.
I'm out here. I'm trying to come clean. I told you the truth. I didn't have to tell you the truth. Nigga, these are people. You can't hide people forever. At some point, these 5 people was going to show up. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, so I don't get no credit? You ain't even gonna acknowledge a brother coming clean? Right? So that's just a person who's manipulative. They try to manipulate their situation.
Right.
A narcissist would say, yes, I have 5 kids. No, I didn't tell you because you don't make it easy to talk to you.
Yes, God.
I'm not able to come out and be honest with you because anytime I'm honest with you, you decide to turn everything around. Every time I tell you the truth, you can't handle it. So I made a decision that I wasn't going to tell it to you because I knew how this and look at it. Look at where we at right now. You not even acknowledge the fact that I'm telling you the truth. You're not acknowledging the fact that I could have kept this a lie for you forever. I could have kept this as a lie, but I didn't. And here you are seeing me being vulnerable and I'm allowing myself to open up to you and you don't even have enough in you, enough respect for me to accept me being open and honest and me being the person that I am in that conversation. I look at him and I say, I'm sorry. I didn't realize. I didn't.
What can I do?
I want to fix it. I'm so sorry.
And then that's the ghost.
Block,
I was about to say, insert ghost behavior. Nope. No text.
And
no
then,
email.
And then 3 weeks later, hi. How are you? How have you been? I've been thinking about you. I miss you rubbing my back. I miss your hands on my
This is what I'm trying to say. I want you guys to get the level of insanity of difference because I think we've all dealt with a certain level of crazy, something out of our comfort zone. The roots can attack you as a person so deep to deal with someone who's narcissistic that it can end up becoming blurry between real... you having your own reality and separate thought versus the seeds that were planted in you from them.
Because there's constant seeds planted. It's a constant. And here's the thing. It's not heavy. It starts off light. Yeah. And it's kind of like a chiseling effect. So when they love bomb you in the beginning, you become so high on the level of love that they give you that you will do anything to keep it. And trying to keep it is going to be the detriment of you because that means that they are allowed to do whatever they want to do and come back and you still are going to take it. You're going to try to figure out how to fix you in that situation.
Because you're the only person that needs to change.
Absolutely, because they're almost perfect. I literally had somebody tell me, like, I'm not perfect, but like, slow wink, I'm definitely almost perfect. And everybody all my exes and all the people who have a problem with me, that's them. I'm kind of amazing. I'm kind of dope. Here's the crazy part. They usually are. They are dope. They are amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They use what they have not for the greater good.
Right.
Because they have a personality disorder. Narcissism is a personality disorder that 9 times out of 10 will never be cured.
No.
There is no way to fix it. And sometimes when they recognize it, they still don't see anything. Well, what is wrong with me being that way? You're hurting other people.
Yes.
Well, maybe those other people are the problem, not me. It is a vicious cycle. Let me tell y'all, then it took me out and I did not understand it. And if you listen to this and you dealt with a female that's like this, if you dealt with a man that's like this and you made it out, I'm proud of you. Because let me tell you.
Baby girl. Baby boy.
It is a struggle to get your mind back together. And even the strongest people, because y'all, I am like one of the strongest people. My friends will tell you, I have no idea what you were doing. Hell, me neither. So now that we've got that on the table,
and I think that's I think that level of depression that I was feeling after that situation, because I still wasn't really identifying that I had detached myself from someone who was narcissistic. When I've experienced depression before, I've struggled with my perception of things. After this, I felt so detached from myself that I didn't really even have a perception of things. It was a different experience.
I felt like I was a terrible individual.
But I
was definitely told I was a terrible individual.
But I didn't have
that was
a concept. But I'm saying, like, I just felt bad. I didn't have, like, you know, at times where maybe I was being hard on myself or had a skewed view of myself through things. It left me so depleted that it wasn't even that. It was just like, what are you doing? Like, absolutely. With me, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I know that I'm a mom. I know I have children. Everything else under that is kind of blank. I'm figuring it all out. I don't feel purpose. I don't feel worthiness. I don't know, like, I know it's a routine, that's what you do, it's like in your day, but I don't really know what I need to get up and do about anything. I do know these kids have to get cared for. Bam. Outside of that, anything about me as a person, I felt stripped from. And it was because the level, that drop from feeling like, man, I just thought I had a chance of having something so amazing. I messed that up. It's me.
Yep.
I did it. This is me. And then it has you reflecting on other insecurities in other places, and it dabbles in your insecurities in other places that you already have.
And if they know what your insecurities are, they definitely gonna dance on them bad boy. Ooh, child.
Oh, ooh. Listen, this ex of mine has brought up my daughter's father to me in a way like he's more knowledgeable than I am of who that beast is. I don't know why. I don't know why. And every time now, today, I can see how intentional it is to plant a seed for me to look at myself a certain way. Like, you are telling me something about me. I'm so grateful to be in a place that not even because of this, but I've made a choice to be committed to certain things. I see the value, like, it's so not cliche about loving yourself and the benefits that come of learning to love yourself. Like, that's so not a cliche thing.
Correct.
Because I felt like at the beginning of that relationship that I was already in a good space. Honestly, I did feel like I was in a good space. I didn't feel like I was just broken. Right. But I feel like every crack that could have been found, it was explored and deviled into. It was a dive. And to be told about yourself almost third person, like a narrative, like a story, like a thing, but you're intimately connected to this person, so it's real because it's you. Right. But you're being told about yourself in a narrative of sorts, in a storyline way that is like, well, And for what I'm trying to do here and how great you've made me seem and these plans you've almost outlined, because it's not just the surface here. You've pretty much planned this hope and possibility of where we're going to. So it's like, I gotta shape up, because when you start retreating, I still want to go there. Right. So, I'm throwing everything off course. I gotta fix it. Yep. I gotta make it right. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that gets told to you of fixing it is fixing you. Yep. And then when you think you are fixing you, you literally start sitting like a trial, trying to see if I get it this time or if I didn't. Did I pass the test? Did I nail it? Is it working? Is it effective? I don't really know. I think I'm gonna try it this way. I'm gonna try it that way. If I pull back, you should have did more. If I do too much, you need to pull back. It's literally like hot potato, and knowing what's going to pass the test to get me back into that space when everything felt amazing.
Because I definitely was told you need to pull back. And then when I pulled back, I was told, not that much. Now, damn it, you getting out of hand. I was like, but you didn't tell me how much. Do I have to do everything? And then, when I wanted to move forward and I didn't, the response was, did you think we were always going to stay in that space? Of course we were going to get better and move forward. Of course you can move forward now.
Listen.
I was like, I'm nuts. I have to be crazy. I have to be.
And this 10,000 character email that I recently...
10,000. That's a low number.
Yes. Yeah. The way that I was described...
First of all, it was realistic, because that is who you are, because he said so.
True. Would have you thinking this person didn't just tell me they missed me last year and got shy and intimidated. See, and those are the things that happen when you get greeted with that type of behavior that has you saying,
"Am I crazy? What in the Sam?
Did this exist then too, or?" Did I do something after that point? Where is this coming from?
Oh, you know what you did.
Oh, I know what I did.
Oh, you know what you did. What you're not going to do is play these reindeer games. Right. You know what you did. Out here living your best life.
Just living.
The nerve of you.
And I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to be on the other side of things. I'm also grateful to the knowledge of identifying. Let's be clear. I don't want someone to hear this if you are foreign to ever hearing these differences and start trying to box somebody in to be narcissistic just because they're an a-hole and you need to stop dealing with them. That's not the reason. I think we realized by when we started uncovering how much research was out there about this, how unaware we were, that it's literally something that a lot of people are really unaware of. Absolutely. Even though so many people know. It's still something that is said so lightly, but really affecting people every day. Yep. Heavy. There are literal support groups. I mean, what I'm trying to tell you, there are people who are getting taken out because they are literally losing their mind trying to deal and maintain relationship with someone who is narcissistic. And so there are support groups, just like domestic violence, just like suicide prevention, just like there are, like, it's said so casually, but I think we felt it was so important to be in the space we are, to hindsight, be able to look back and identify those things that because we would have never known. Like, even in both of us, in our experience, it took us learning in different perspectives to kind of even realize we had such similar situations. We didn't know that at first.
Well, I told you that I didn't know it because I didn't know what the hell I was dealing with. But then when we started to talk, you were like, that's the same thing I was going. And the more books I read, and the more there were like videos that I watched on YouTube that doctors put up, therapists, psychiatrists, like, it's a thing, y'all. Like, it's a real thing. And I think that if I would put a gym out there, about dealing with a person that's a narcissist, I would say you cannot love them out of it.
No.
You cannot love them through it.
No.
And you cannot be the person that like, there are a lot of times, and I can only say women because I'm sure men do this too, but I'm speaking from my perspective. A lot of women tend to believe that they're going to make the difference.
Yeah.
They're going to be the difference. They're going to love them out of that situation. He's going to know the type of person that I am, that I would do anything and everything for him. I would allow him to hurt me emotionally. I will allow him to some situations hurt me physically, because a lot of times narcissists become physical. And I wasn't in a situation where I physically got hurt. I do remember there were a couple situations where it was a real suspect, like the actions that were done towards me, but I was never physically hurt. But you can't, I thought to myself, if I show him how much I love him, if I love him beyond what he's used to, then he'll see it, and then he won't be this way anymore. And that's not a real thing. You just really want that to be what happens.
What I also would say is that one thing you learn is that not only are you getting a picture painted about yourself through that, and I think sometimes when you're so committed to that and you've lost sight of yourself, you don't even realize that you're getting a picture painted about yourself. But you're also forgetting that you're getting a picture painted of them. That what you're seeing has been built.
Correct.
This is a built perception that they're giving you. So a lot of the time, when now a scenario has come, and maybe in your sound logic and best space, you could say, hey, that's not cool. That wouldn't work. You're also sitting here being told who you are and being told about all their traumas, all their hurts, who's done them wrong, how nobody stood by their side, how... No, and you don't want to be that person that you've heard has done them so wrong, because as you said, in general, they are amazing.
Yes.
You've treated me amazing. It doesn't make sense as when you deal with someone and you know what's toxic and I don't need to deal with this, but I'm just sticking around. It doesn't feel like that, because you are great. You are a good person. You are dope in these ways. But it's so deep rooted and manipulative. So when you're hearing who you are and you've been told all these things, you don't want to be in that storyline desperately. It starts making you desperate to get into that good grace and level. And it starts diminishing, you don't think intentionally, how worthy you are of their perfection and how great of the person they are. And from that red table talk, it's broken down in different approaches.
The different type of narcissist, right, and how they approach each individual person has a specific situation. So a different type of narcissist shows up
a different way,
type of situation, and they break down to you what each one is, because there is the one that's considered the knight in shining armor, and the one he's gonna come and save you. I remember all the conversations, and I can tell you this, I don't remember a lot of the conversations I had with a lot of people. I remember all these conversations. I remember the look on his face. I remember how he delivered things. I remember the disdain that he had in his voice. I remember the disrespect of how he treated me in front of people. I remember me being embarrassed but still trying to please. All of it is, if you are dealing with a person who's a narcissist, or you think that you are, there's a million different books that you can read. There's a lot of different videos you can watch on YouTube or just on the internet, because there are different sites that doctors have up about dealing with narcissists, because people are literally going through depression trying to cope with and deal with the trauma that comes along with dealing. They call it they literally have self-help groups, and they call it surviving emotional abuse. And because in they are considered an emotional abuser, and you have to go like to a self-help group and go see therapy and go see a counselor. And y'all know how I feel about therapy and counseling. Everybody should go, but it's a different, because it has to rebuild you, because you stayed around and allowed them to break you down. Now, there are some people who are not narcissists. They just lame and they're manipulative.
And you've given them too much room in your space.
Absolutely. And you need to just go ahead and let that happen. But then there are narcissists, and it's on a completely different level. And I would assume that if you're a man and you're dealing with a narcissistic woman, that it probably would look...
You know what? I know from, just kind of thinking about it, I think I know one person who I know personally dealt with a girl that probably would be narcissism, and would shower with gifts but be demeaning. Very demeaning verbally, very you need me, very I'm bigger and better than you type of thing, but I'm trying to help you and be there for you, so you kind of need to come over here and do what I'm telling you need to do, because if you have any individual thought different, you're stupid. Very high drama.
How you gonna do better than me?
Yes.
I brought you up to where you at.
Yes.
You always out here they make themselves a victim. You out here doing this and you out here doing that. I literally was at work. I was at work. How do I know you was at work?
Questioning who you're tearing down your friends. Why do you want to hang with that person?
With your friends or your family, trying to pull you away from them.
I should be most important to you. Why aren't you valuing me?
Yes.
Some I feel like will go to the extreme in the victim to do the that's where for some people, like some people is just crazy, but for some that I've seen it, that I'm sure it could be labeled as narcissism, where the fake pregnancies come in. The
manipulative that way.
The fake self-harm comes in. I'm gonna hurt myself if...
Call him and tell him I'm in the hospital.
Yeah. Stuff like that to get you back onto the side, and then, I'm gonna do better. And I
don't know. That could just be borderline crazy. You damn near a psychopath at that point. But there's so many different levels of it. If you were to read any of the stuff that they have, it's so much information.
It's so much.
I've read like 7 books. I can see it now. Before I couldn't see it. I can be in a room with 20 people in there, and if there's a narcissist in there and he opens his mouth, I'm going to know that he's a narcissist.
And let me say this, for whoever you are and whatever type of character you are in whatever capacity that you may encounter a narcissist, my gem would be to always choose your peace over anything with them. Always choose you. I think there are people with different characteristics, and like you said, there's some women who are like, not me, I'm this type of person, I'm strong, or not even that I'm going to change him, but maybe like, you're not going to get to me. Don't do that. That's not even a battle to take on. Protect your peace enough to, if you have knowledge, to use knowledge, and if you could identify it, to not even allow that in your space, because the effects can be so toxic that it's not even worth entering your perimeter in any way. So, like you said, for me at this point, if I can identify you as narcissist, you're going to stay where exactly I identified you to be. There, over there, and over yonder. Let's just stay there. If I've identified it and I'm clear, like this is a clear vision, that's it. Cool. I'm over here. I don't want to do it.
Even if you told them, they wouldn't believe you.
Well, that's the thing. That's why you have to choose. That's why I chose the words choose your peace. Because there is no conversation or no understanding or no gain to find when communicating with a narcissist. And that's something you can find. There is no, I'm just trying to have you understand my point of view. That doesn't exist. Because they didn't do anything.
For sure. I feel like that's good. Hey, this could be a 5-hour session, but we're not about to do that to y'all. So, I hope you enjoyed. Get you some books and get you some help. Because let me tell you.
Literally, I urge anyone who makes it through this episode to go to your phone, type in Google, type in narcissistic behavior, and watch like how books, memes, how much just employs. If you've never done it, just do that.
And read the top 10 ways to tell if you're dealing with a narcissist, because it will blow your mind. And you're going to be like, I didn't even think that would be
exactly
what a narcissist does. Let me tell you, that's gaslighting and that love bombing. Powerful thing. And it's just disrespectful. All right, y'all.